Do you ever feel like your photos still scream, "I'm new at this"? Don't worry, we've all been there. Today we're fixing 5 classic beginner mistakes that can hold you back. And these are actually far more common than you might think. As a photography tutor, I see these common mistakes time and again. For example, have you ever shot a portrait only to find a pole growing out of your subject's head? Once you've done it once, you're not likely to do it again. And it's a really simple fix anyway. Just take a step to the side or recompose before you click, and problem solved. And if you want more basic knowledge, why not grab my ebook after the video, totally free when you sign up for my newsletter, link for you below. Oh, and stick around with me until the end, because I have a bonus tip for you too. Okay, let's dive in. Auto mode is a great safety net, but it also limits your creative control. The camera can't read your mind, so it plays safe and averages everything out. And this results in okay photos instead of amazing ones. So start taking back control one step at a time. And if you're not quite ready for manual mode yet, switch from full auto to a semi-automatic mode like aperture priority or shutter priority. In aperture priority, for example, you can use a low f number for blurry backgrounds or a high one for keeping everything sharp. In shutter priority, choose fast shutter speeds to freeze action or slow ones for motion blur. So overall, focus on learning how aperture, shutter speed and ISO all work together rather than memorizing numbers. The goal here is to make creative choices for yourself and not rely on the camera. Let me know in the comments, which mode will you try first, aperture or shutter priority? Beginners tend to lock onto the subject and ignore the background. Then later, you notice a tree, a pole or a trash can ruining the shot. This is another easy fix. Before you press the shutter, get yourself into the habit of scanning your frame and check the edges of the corners. Move a step to the left or to the right to remove distractions and change your angle. Or maybe turn your camera's rule of thirds grid on to see the whole frame rather than just the center. Think like a movie director. You control what makes the final shot. A 2-second check before you press the shutter can turn a snapshot into a clean, professional-looking image. And if you want more help with decluttering, I'll link to the full video below for you. Flash gets a bad rap because built-in flashes blast light straight at your subject, causing harsh shadows and red eye. But the problem isn't flash, it's unmodified flash. To be honest, the best thing you can do with a built-in flash is never to use it. In fact, I've joked with my students that you should maybe gaffer tape it closed. So instead, you need to soften or redirect the light, because the bigger the light source in relation to your subject, the softer and more flattering it is. You can do this by bouncing an external flash off a ceiling or a wall instead of pointing it forward, and if you can't tilt it, use a clip-on diffuser or even a bit of white paper to spread the light. In a small, white-walled room, bouncing works wonders. In bigger spaces, you could bounce off a reflector or use off-camera flash. I've even used someone wearing a white shirt to be my mobile reflector. It kind of worked. Anyway, when you diffuse it, the result is softer, more natural light, and your subjects will definitely thank you. I've heard some photographers say that they're natural light photographers, and that's absolutely fine, but it's also a little bit limiting. Flash used correctly can really enhance photos in many situations. And if someone can't tell if you've used flash or not, you've done a good job. Editing should enhance a photo, not overpower it. There is no one-size-fits-all way of editing, but it's a good idea to have a methodical approach and a good workflow. It's always tempting to crank up saturation and clarity until your photo looks like a video game. But trust me, subtlety is definitely a better approach. Maybe think of editing like adding salt to soup. A pinch enhances the flavour, a handful ruins it. Make small tweaks, bump contrast and vibrance just a little, and only sharpen when needed. And compare before and after at regular intervals. In fact, once you think you've finished an edit, take a break away from the screen and revisit it later, or even the next day to give your eyes a good rest. If the edit jumps out at you, dial it back. Less is definitely more. I see this one time and time again. And it's really easy to think a new camera will instantly make you a better photographer. And honestly, I know it's so tempting to want to get the new latest and greatest camera, or another new lens. But a new toy can't replace skill and know-how. and no camera can tell you where and what to point it at. Well, not yet anyway. Imagine a manual gear Ferrari in the hands of someone who's never driven anything other than an automatic. A skilled driver in a cheap hatchback will win every time. Photography kind of works the same way. An experienced photographer will get better photos with a phone than a raw beginner with a $5,000 pro camera. I've actually recently seen a video of somebody literally launching a new camera, throwing it away in sheer frustration. I couldn't believe my eyes. Now, I'm sure it wasn't the camera's fault, and I bet that was a rather sheepish conversation with the insurance company. So the advice is, before you upgrade, whether it's a camera or a lens, master what you already have. Learn what all the buttons and dials do. Practice in different light and set yourself little challenges, like maybe using only one lens for the day, or only using your phone. Once you know your limits firsthand, you'll upgrade for all the right reasons, and then you use the new gear to all its full potential, and no doubt to maximum satisfaction. And as promised, and for sticking with me, here's that quick bonus tip. Memory cards fail, drives die. Don't learn that the hard way. Keep at least 2 copies of your images, one on a hard drive, one in the cloud, and never format your SD cards until your photos live in at least 2 places. I'm very grateful that my camera has 2 card slots and it records to both cards at the same time. Having an immediate backup has saved me more than once. It's also a good idea to spare batteries and SD cards when you go out on a shoot. And if you're serious about your photography, here's something else you might be interested in. We have a free photography foundations community over on School. So if you'd like to join in and be part of a group of like-minded people in a safe, encouraging, ad-free space, check out the link in the description. We have a large variety of discussions and posts, just like the old forums, live Zoom calls where we can actually learn and have conversations together, which are also recorded and added to the classroom, and we have a calendar of events so you can keep up with what's going on. So if you like the idea of a space where we can all learn, connect, grow and gain confidence with community, learning and support, we'd love to see you over there. So to wrap this up, let's have a quick recap of those 5 common mistakes. Staying in auto forever. Learn how to use your camera. Ignoring background clutter. Scan and adjust as necessary. Using flash incorrectly. Bounce it or diffuse it. Over editing. Subtle adjustments are always best. Chasing gear. Focus on skills and knowledge instead. And our little bonus, don't forget to back up your work. Every pro and experienced photographer once made the same mistakes. The difference is they kept learning and practicing. The best way to improve is to shoot, make mistakes and fix them one technique at a time. So why not watch this one next and let me know in the comments which of these tips helped you the most. I read and respond to every one. And if this helped, give it a like and subscribe. It's free and it really does help others like you find the channel. Thanks so much for watching, take care and I'll see you in the next one.